What is going on YouTube? I'm Cheesy, and I hope you guys had a great weekend, because I just slept a lot. So today we're gonna do something a little different. We're gonna do story time. A lot of people do it on YouTube. I've never actually thought of doing it until like I woke up, like, I'm gonna do story time, because I've lived some interesting things when I was in high school, and before I became such a normal, non-retarded teenager, before YouTube, I was like reckless. And I did some stuff that I regretted, but we've all done stuff in the past, which is we all probably regret. Anywho, so this story is about the time when I was with my friends and we ran from the cops on the highway. Now, when you're young, you really don't follow the laws as you should. And being honest with you, at the time, I didn't think it was a bad idea because of the circumstances we were under. So, let's just hop right into it. Basically, in the summertime of 2000 and I want to say 10 or 9, I was hanging with one of my friends who was a grade 12 at the time. No, he was grade 10 at the time. No, he was grade 11. Sorry, grade 11. Okay, he was grade 11. And he's like, "Hey, do you want to hang out?" I'm like, "Yeah, sure." I've known him since like public school, and he was at public school. And I was like, "Yeah, sure, let's hang out. I'm cool with that." So we hung out. And we go towards the high school that I went to at the time, and I didn't think of anything of it. You know, to get there, there's trails and stuff, like nature trails you can take. So we were walking the nature trail, and we came across some people wearing bandanas. Not many people actually go this way because it actually wasn't safe at the time. Back when I was in high school, it was actually quite dangerous to walk down that nature trail because underneath there was an overpass where people used to hang out and stuff. But it's changed over the years. Everybody that does that stuff just kind of fucked off and doesn't. Anywho, so we're walking on the nature trail, and we ran into some guys with some bandanas, and I was like, oh great, we're in the gangs area. I didn't really care. It didn't bother me, because we weren't too far from a road. There was a couple guys just standing there, and they were just probably smoking weed. That's what it seemed like. We didn't think anything of it. We just let them smoke their weed, yada yada. We kept on walking. Then we noticed they started to follow us. We got really confused and we're like, well, why would they be following us? We didn't do anything to piss them off. So then someone's like, well, maybe they think we got stuff on us because we're over here. I was like, well, what do you mean stuff? At the time, I really didn't know what drugs was. I knew they existed, but I really didn't care too much about them. He's like, well, he probably thinks we got dope and they're going to try to rob us. I'm like, they're not going to try to rob us. They don't even know we got dope. I didn't know what dope was. I actually didn't even know what dope was. I went home and actually Googled the term dope. Yeah, it's pretty sad. Anywho, so I Googled that and yada yada yada. Back to the story. We decided to just forget anything about it, and there was a side trail. Now this side trail went into people's like backyards. It was like highway wall. It's a big, huge wall. Like I want to say a couple like 10 feet high, maybe even more. And I was like, okay, so let's just take this way. They're like, yeah, we can just go this way and we'll head back to your place. I'm like, okay, let's just do this. So we're walking through and we started running because I started running, and they pretty much gave up after we started going through tall grass. I think they just really were out of energy. We weren't. We were kind of at the like verge of death. We kind of thought we were going to get stabbed or something. Anywho, so we come to an overpass, the first overpass. There's 3 of them we have to go through in order to get home. So the first overpass, it was easy. We just walked by and, you know, we were done. Come to the second overpass. The second overpass, there is a 6-foot fence. Okay, a 6-foot fence. I've never hopped a fence in my day in my life, okay? I didn't know what to do. So they're like, okay, it's cool, dude. We can just take the highway. I'm like, what? You guys want to go on the highway? I'm like, I'd rather try to attempt to hop a 6-foot fence. I'm like, well, no, we can't keep staying here. Someone's gonna call the cops because, you know, we're in the backyard. But it was an open kind of walking area. It wasn't actual people's backyards. It was the backyard of the backyard. That makes no sense. Backyard of the backyard. Needless to say, we, of course, then took to the highway. Well, we stopped to catch our breath underneath the overpass. And let me tell you, never stop on a highway. If you're on a highway and you need to get out of it, I would suggest going out of there as quick as possible. An ambulance drove by. And we kind of just stopped talking and watched it drive by as both paramedics looked at us. We knew right there and then that if we didn't move now, we probably would have been caught by someone that was above the law. So we're like, hey guys, we need to start going. So we're about halfway towards the third overpass. Now I know this one doesn't have a fence because I've spent a lot of time going over that one, go to school and stuff. So like, okay, this is gonna be easy. We're almost home. So one of my friend who was in I'm not gonna say names because you know names are names, and I just don't know if they don't. Yeah, you get the point. So the guy who's in grade 10, he looks at the ground, he's like, oh, this is interesting. I'm like, what? And he picks up a pouch, and I'm like, oh god, no, don't pick up pouches. He's like, I'm just looking what it is. I'm like, do not pick that up. So he opens it up, and there's this like white powder stuff, and I'm looking at it, I'm like, what's that? He's like, what do you mean, what's that? Don't you know what this is? I'm like, I wouldn't ask if I didn't know. Okay? I'm like, straight up, what is it? He's like, dude, it's coke. I'm like, it's coke. What the fuck's coke? He's like, it's a drug. I'm like, oh, cocaine. He's like, no, yeah, it's cocaine. And at the time, like I said, didn't know anything about drugs. So, with that being said, he opened it up, and I was like, dude, you just got your fingerprints all over that. See, I was smart at the time with the whole law enforcement. Now, let me tell you, when you're in Ontario, and you're on an Ontario highway, there are only one type of cop, and those cops are pretty fucking brutal. If you are from Ontario, then you know the OPP do not fuck around with that kind of shit. They do not act crooked whatsoever. If you got dope on you, you are fucked. I honestly mean, you are screwed for life. Okay? We are at the last intersection. The last overpass, sorry. All of a sudden, it got really quiet. The traffic was coming, but it got really quiet. And then my friend's like, something doesn't feel right. I'm like, something feels eerie about this highway. As soon as we say that, we hear sirens. What was that? It was a Tahoe going the other direction, saw us walking on said highway. I've never seen a cop turn his lights on and speed up so fast. He literally flew down that highway, and I don't know where he went after that. He flew down the highway trying to find an open section to turn on, and that thing just flew. We didn't know if it was coming for us, but it was kind of obvious it was because you can't miss 3 teenagers walking on a highway. That's just kind of obvious. So we just all ran. Now, my buddy, he's a bigger guy, okay? He's like fucking... I can't swear anymore. I got a bad habit of that. He's like Gabriel Iglesias. No, it's not Iglesias. No. The comedian, that guy, you know what I'm talking about? Like him, okay? My first thought was, I have to get home. So I pushed him on a guardrail, and I think I cut his arm open. But I didn't give a shit. I literally ran. But then he pushed me, and I smashed my wrist off of the fucking guardrail, and it got bruised, and it kind of got dislocated, and it was really bruised. Needless to say, children, do not go on highways. Don't pick up weird-looking packages, because that just leads to bad problems. But we actually never got caught. I got home, my mom looked at me really confused, and she's like, where have you been? I'm like, oh, I was out hanging out with so-and-so, and she's like, oh, okay. And she knew something had happened because you know when moms give you that look like they know that you did something you shouldn't have, but they don't say anything and hope that you'll actually tell them. Well, I did tell my mom like a couple weeks later. I told her, and she said, whatever. No biggie. Just don't do it again. So I was like, okay, I won't do it again. But needless to say, that was my first time running from the police. Oh, there's lots of times that we've ran from them because of pure instinct, not because I've done something illegal. I've done stuff illegal, but nothing that is harmful to another person or the community around me. That's not illegal. It's more self-harm to myself in doing stupid shit. I've never done story time, but I thought I would just share something from what happened. I will always remember that. I thought it was really funny. Just the stuff that happened before that. It was really cool hanging out with these guys because they were high school. And like, oh, they're high school kids. I gotta be cool. I gotta hang out with them. That never the case. That was a bad idea. Anywho, if you guys like this video, thank you for watching. I appreciate you listening to me ramble on about the time I ran. If this gets a lot of likes, and I'll pop it another story time throughout the week or next week. Tons of stories, and trust me, the ones of the police just keep getting more interesting. I tell you, as my high school went on and I got older, the police became like way more strict and hard on me. Like legit, I don't know how many times I thought I was gonna be tased because of the things I didn't say fast enough. So, I'm CheezyTheNerd, thank you guys for watching, and I will see you guys on one of my other videos where I talk and ramble on about my life, or when I play a video game. Remember what I said, if you like this, click a like. If you didn't like this, just just don't like it. If you want to comment below on a story that you've ever had with the police, comment below me if you guys get in trouble with the police before. It's not fun. Don't do it. It's just dangerous. Okay, guys? And I will see you guys later. Thank you.